The gentlelady yields back the balance of her time. The chair now recognizes for 5 minutes the gentlelady from Washington, the chair of the full committee, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate you holding this important markup. High-speed broadband is a critical part of today's modern economy, yet some Americans still do not have reliable internet access. We need effective reforms to accelerate the build-out of high-speed internet. And the bills we are considering today will speed the deployment of broadband infrastructure and ensure that federal funding is promoting connectivity rather than becoming government waste. We're leading on proposals that take meaningful steps to reduce unnecessary barriers to broadband deployment. Many of our bills have strong bipartisan support, and I'm hopeful we will continue to garner more support for all these bills. My colleagues are committed to getting this job done. For the American people, it will mean better and faster internet access so that they can build a business, communicate with their loved ones, advance their education, improve the world around them, and so much more. The money is there. Congress has made the investment. Now we need to take the next step to roll back regulations to get reliable broadband to every American more quickly. These measures will ensure that we prioritize broadband to rural, unserved communities that need it most by making sure federal regulations don't prevent Americans from getting connected. Committee Republicans have introduced these proposals for the last 2 Congresses. And even the Biden administration has put out a permitting action plan to roll back permitting requirements to ensure effective use of the billions of dollars dedicated for infrastructure build-out. We'll hear more about many of these important solutions today that will ensure effective broadband deployment. And I'm pleased to be leading on the Wildfire Communications Resiliency Act, which streamlines the deployment of broadband projects to repair or replace communication facilities damaged by wildfires. In the aftermath of a wildfire, it can be vital, even life-saving, to be able to quickly restore communications networks, so those impacted by and responding to the fire can get the resources they need. This process should not be slowed down by cumbersome permitting issues and environmental reviews. This bill is just one of many good pieces of legislation up for review today. We're also considering legislation to extend the FCC's Spectrum Auction Authority, which expired in March for the first time ever. My goal is to continue working on a broader deal to extend the Spectrum Auction Authority longer term and provide certainty to the FCC and the communications industry. Fund important priorities like the Rip and Replace program and Next Generation 911, and work with my colleagues across the aisle and in the Senate to make this a bipartisan deal that gets signed into law. I want to thank the sponsors of these bills, both Republicans and Democrats, for their work. I'm hopeful that my colleagues across the aisle will consider working with us to make all of these solutions bipartisan. These bills will help unleash American innovation, deploy broadband across the country, and make America more secure. Let's keep working to move solutions through the regular order process. Thank you. I yield back.
Well, thank you very much. The gentlelady yields back. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from New Jersey,